Thanks. This year, there are 4 exciting new iPhones to choose from.
Testing? There it is. All right. There's a retro game jam right now, and I'd like to throw my hat in the ring, so I'm just working on some assets and stuff. Okay. So, to do in Missile Command, these things are like extremely long lines behind them. Not quite sure how to do this yet. Jello, back to you, play game for fun. Thanks for the right pickaxe, Master. Bruno, I appreciate it. I enjoyed your stream today. How's everybody out there doing? Hola. I didn't message Roxy. He said that he always has my stream up, so I was testing him. There's a retro game jam, and I thought it'd be cool to work on it. So we're working on a Missile Command clone, and I'm working on asset concepts. So I think this is good for now. I can export this as a box. Enemy missile. So in Missile Command, if you blow up an enemy missile, that also creates a chain reaction, but it's not as big as the original circle. So let's duplicate this. And we'll rename it we'll go with enemy explosion. I appreciate Bruno shouting out the fashion show. Roxy has announced the new theme. And so if you're feeling ambitious, or if you've already participated and want to throw your hat in the ring again, go ahead and sign up. And then there's going to be a raffle. We're going to decide the 4 artists for the next live show in a month. So you can find the information there on that. Retweet, show it some love. Later this week, I'm going to be going through the Experience Cheer for Gear I'm doing, which is Dress to Impress clone. And I think I pretty much have it working, so every 2 weeks after the main show, we're going to have like a fun show while we have funds. And so Cheer for Gear allows for 8 players to play, and the game should just keep on going. I'm sure there's going to be bugs, but we're going to be giving away money for interacting with the judging bot in the Discord. So make sure you get in there and... Oops, I changed it to links to show everything. So yeah, check it out. And then also, just to mention, we're going to be working on Misty Mountain again soon, or quality of life features. And I've been thinking about that as well. So that's just around the corner as well. Some Misty Mountain content. All right. So I'm making a smaller explosion for the enemy explosion. Let's just go in here. I've realized I'm probably doing everything wrong because I'm doing top down, so I actually want to remake all the assets again. So let's just start with this one and go. So if I want, well, I don't know what I want. So I have this explosion as a 4x4 blocks. So a 3x3. 32 times 3 equals 96. So let's actually change this to 96. And the green one to 2. And this one to 96. I'm going to keep the mirror Y, but get rid of mirror X. Alright, I don't want nothing. And then let's have an enemy explosion. I'm using this palette here, and this is the palette I installed here. So I'm using this for all the enemy, or for all the player stuff right now, and we'll have this be the enemy stuff, these purples. So I just want to circle here. So first I'm going to fill it with the circle. And then I'm going to grab the eraser. Delete a circle inside of it. Wait. I also want to change the pivot point to the center. to the center. Should be okay. Does that go to the floor? No. And then floor. Wonder if I'll be able to rebuild my assets like that. Alright, so let's see what an enemy explosion looks like. I'm gonna just do a node in here. Create child node. Explosion. So if I rotate it, so yeah, something like that. On Discord and voting area, still only first and second show. Oh yeah, the third ones aren't quite in yet. They should be in there today. But you were right, play game for fun. We don't have the newest sets in there yet. But we will before the fun show, where we play Cheer for Gear. And yeah, the judging bot will be used for like raffle tickets, so every vote you have in there, which is confidential by the way, will be used as a raffle ticket to give away USDC. All right. So let's see if if I go 128 here and I select this. I don't know where the center is. And no. No way I put that right in the middle. No, it's a little off. Is it though? Oh. I can't tell because of this thing. Dang, that was pretty slick. So now I want to bring it to the floor. And then make it too tall. I want to center the pivot and then drop it to the floor. That one was pretty easy. These ones are a lot smaller. but I don't want to be here. Let's see if I can do it again. So I'll bring this out. Select it. I wonder if I could just be like, oh, so it just does it on its own. Well, even better. Don't even have to worry about it. Here I'm thinking I put it in the perfect spot. It just did it on its own. Boom, boom. So that's the reticle where you're aiming to try to shoot the missiles. All right. I built this like diorama standing up, so, but that's not how I'm making the game. I'm making the game top down. Why did this flip? Oh, because it's on the reticle. Zero. Okay. I also lost the explosion. I just want it in the art. Oh, geez, Louise. Okay. Everything on its own. No children of nothing. Please. Okay, so I'll just bring them up. Okay. So I have to do the X still. The mark. Oops, I don't want to do it here though. This really isn't the best place to do this because I started before I do that though. Let me see what I all exported first. Okay. Enemy explosion I can save. We will export this as a Vox. Just our own explosion. Alright, let's leave this for a minute. So I already have all these where I want to change the pivot point. Mark. Can I just delete this? Okay. So let's just do them like this. So if I say 32 here, rotate, 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 boom, 2, Set to floor. Alright, what's in the middle? Perfect for a top-down asset game. Actually, too, what I wanted to do with the X is make it a little smaller. So I'm just going to delete some instead of making it smaller. 2, 3, 1, 2. Let's go with 4. Whoops. No, yeah, the green. The Y. So I'm going to give it 4 long. And then at the 5th one, I'm going to delete everything. And give it a point. All right. And so I'm gonna upload this to my workspace. All right, let's rebuild the reticle. Wow, that makes things pretty easy peasy. So we'll upload this update to the workspace. I'm not too concerned about changing the whole background, the whole backdrop, because I'm not going to be using them and moving them around. But the reticle's done. And this stuff is all just concept art, but I want to make like pretty gross. I want to make like a giant planetary flesh ball. So if I just go 35 and we go boom, 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 just perfection. Can I turn it around now? Huh. So I'm gonna use the center for this. This is like where they launch their missiles from, the player does. They launch their defense against the incoming stuff. So I'm just gonna try this for now. Missile Bay 1. So I have left to these are what I was gonna shoot out, like little flesh balls. Okay, let's rotate these. Boom. Oh yeah, I forgot to make it shorter. Alright, set to floor, which also puts in the center. So let's update this. Okay. We're updating all these assets. All right, and so we're up. These are like the cities that you destroy. These definitely mushroom looking, not questionable looking things that are just concept art and probably subject to change. Wow, that rotation makes things really easy. So I just might have to fix the orientation, but I just think having the assets built this way will make my life a lot easier in general. Because I was messing around with it a little bit last night, but I haven't much done anything yet. Whoops. I accidentally went the wrong route with this. I want to replace an asset. Hey, Raxi's in chat. What's up? Alright, so these are all the assets I've uploaded, and I just changed them all so that they're flat assets, so they work better in a top-down camera, hopefully. So let's see what they're looking like in GameMaker. Let's just minimize this so you can see GameMaker. So I haven't built any of the mechanics yet. I have to decide what the buttons are going to be. Rotation 0. Rotation 0. Roxy, would you like to be on a call with me? Or anybody else. We could, I mean, I'm a part of a lot of Discords. If anybody wants to hop on stream, you know. Jump on. Yesterday we did a stream with Tiny Fighters. Tiny Fighter in the Tiny Fighter Hub. And we learned about the Life Bomb brand, which is like an NFT project that uses the GPS on your phone to pay you for getting your steps in. I'm supposed to have one more meeting with those guys because Ben, the head of the project, wasn't able to make it on stream yesterday, but we do have one more stream planned, so hopefully they can make it. Alright, so let's just get rid of this and start over. And these all look weird because... we changed them. Let's grab them all up and put them on the ground. Should make some sort of art where they're like connected here. There shouldn't be ground here. They should be like connected. So there's no mechanics in place yet. Whoops, dang it. Just setting stuff out there. Alright, what else? What else? The explosions. In our assets. How am I even getting this in our assets? Are they in there yet? Enemy? I don't think they're in there yet. For now, we can say that I want my missile bay. Where is it? Missile bay is all messed up. Pivot points off. Yeah, let's actually save this quick. Oh, man. Where's the explosions? Oh, I don't think I've uploaded them yet. Because they're not here, probably. Alright, so let's fix this and make this to center. Alright, hopefully that fixes it. I want to import an explosion. Mark to floor. Upload to workspace. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to import enemy missile. We'll do enemy explosion first. Or create a new asset. Enemy explosion. We'll use this for now. And I have the pivot point. What I want the pivot point for this is definitely up here. At 256, I think. I'll probably change this, but definitely change this, but for now, this will work. This is an enemy missile. All right. Let's see how that looks. Alrighty. There's explosions. It's probably way too small. All right, I think we're pretty much getting somewhere. I got all the assets I need, at least as placeholders. I'm pretty sure, except for the flyby guys. But there's lots to do before I have to put the flyby guys in. So let's just get working on things, I guess. 45 minutes in. Okay. So these are all the pieces to the game right now. And last but not least, missile bays. Which are still messed up. What the heck is going on? Maybe not. That's pretty good, I think. So these things shoot stuff. Boom. So let's grab one of these first and see how it acts to me. So I want this thing in here to be able to like rotate. Let's see how it looks in here. Like this. Looking at the reticle. Let's do like something like this. And if I put a speaker on this, look at target, detect entity, make it just 100 to make sure. I don't want you to say anything, I just want to use you looking at me. So if I spawn in, what does it do? It does. It looks directly at me. That's fantastic. So this would be an asset spawner that would spawn the player missiles, and the player missiles would just go wherever they're aimed and blow up when they hit this X. The reticle's moving around and it's dropping these X's. And then this thing travels to the X. And when it gets there, destroys the X and makes this circle, which will destroy these missiles, and it can create chain reactions blowing up other things with the enemy missile size. That's what we're hoping for here. Let's do it. Alright, so I'm going to give the player 2 different ways to move the reticle around. One with their player character, their avatar. I don't think I'm going to need to make a custom. Well, I can make a custom avatar to get rid of the shadow. So yeah, I'm going to use a custom avatar to get rid of the shadow. But as the custom avatar moves around in this box, it's going to hit trigger volumes and move the reticle. And then I'm going to have it so that if you jump, you'll teleport back to the middle and stop moving. So if you can't hit the middle very good, then you can also jump to stop and teleport back to stop moving. Jump, boom. Move in, jump, boom, stuff like that. I'm also going to create a system that uses inputs on the keyboard. So I'm going to probably use 1 through 0 because I can't turn off melee. Also, in the most classical of Missile Commander, you get to choose which missile bay is shooting the missiles. So I want to give the players an option to pick which missile bay they're shooting from. So I need to give them 3 buttons for that. And there are enough buttons on the mouse for that. Because I can use left, right, and middle. I just wish we could turn melee off because you can tell that the thing is like taking a second to do a attack animation, and you can also charge attack, which makes the screen wobble around. Beggars can't be choosers, you know? Also, it would be really, really cool if we could just have access to the arrow buttons on the keyboard. Like, why don't we have access to the up, down, left, and right? Like, please. Can I please have access to this? So the first step is to move this reticle around. Now, I was messing around with this a little bit, and I have to definitely do some GameMaker magic to make this work. I used basic platforms before, but I want to do some experimentation with advanced platforms now. So actually, interesting. This stuff's always confusing. Does it loop? If false, the platform stops at its endpoint. In that case, the platform mode, in the case that the platform mode is circular, the endpoint is the start point. Is the start point. I don't ever want it to hit the end and come back, so in this particular, it doesn't really matter. Look at destination. False. I don't need any. So we're kind of flipped around to the south right now, upside down, but let me see if I put Z here at like 1,000. Yeah. So let me just boop, 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 boop. Because I'm making the game upside down. Boop. Platform speed. We'll keep it 5 for now, I guess. So reticle parent 0. Wait duration 0. So with advanced platforms, I could just keep on sending it off in the same direction. You get 2,000, which is a pretty long time. Just go boom, boom, and it's gone forever. All right, so let's do that so we can have 2,000. I'll just leave it like that for now. And so these don't wait for anything. There's no wait duration, they just go. But they are going to be toggled. So initially they start off. So should I use... I'm just going to try to do super simple and be like up, on, up, off. All right. Up, on, up, off. I'm going to duplicate this. Oops. Hold shift and just put it back on top of itself. Move it up just a little bit. So we can see the difference. Actually, who cares? No. My keyboard, my buttons, like my shift and control don't work sometimes. They're messing me up. But out here we have the reticle. And so I was just going to spread them apart for myself to be easy. And so this one, I actually want to be, let's say that this is the one that goes like south for our orientation. So minus 1,000, minus 1,000, just to make it 2,000. I don't know, maybe they can go longer with advanced platforms, but with basic platforms, they would only go like 1,000, I think. Now, this is going to be a child, and we will name this the reticle parent 1. Actually, also, reticle parent Z, reticle parent up. Reticle parent down. Alright, we're duplicating. Put back on top of it. Alright, so we'll say this one goes right. Go left first. So this would be 0, and X would be minus 1,000. Let's go. X would be minus 1,000. Z would be 0 to make it extra long. And this is a child of this. And then we're going to duplicate it again. And so this one would be right 3. reticle parent right, third parent. And this one's going to go 1000, which makes it go to the right. Forgot to change all the toggle names. So this will go this way. Boom. And this one's going to be down, on, down, off. This one's going to be left, on, left, off. And finally we have right on, and right off. So that's a child of this, and then finally we're going to duplicate it one more time. And actually have nothing on it. Have nothing on it because it's just the actual reticle. So we'll call it reticle child, the reticle child. Okay. So since moving around and using trigger volumes is probably easier to understand than like plugging in buttons and using game rules, we'll start with doing the actual physical way to move around. So what should we use for logic for fun? Should we use logic donuts? All right, let's see here. So this is a single player game. I'm not very experienced in making single player games now that they've changed it, so I don't know if there's any quirks or anything like that with like dealing with the rules and stuff, but we'll figure it out. Trigger volumes here, and so this is going to be a box, and hold shift and move it up into this empty space here. So I want it to be like 3 tall. This can be 3 long, and this one very small. Just so it barely goes in there. I think that's pretty good. So this would be let's go. This will be enter up. Enter up and exit up. Enter up and exit up. We're going to broadcast this to all. No. To the rules. I think it's safest to use the rules probably. Let's not duplicate that quite yet. Call this the Interrupt TV. Now I can duplicate it. Let's put it on the underside here. Enter down TV. So enter down. Exit down. Okay, so if I grab both of these and duplicate, hopefully I can like, okay. Enter left TV. Enter left. Exit left. I have to change these. Enter right. Exit right. So these ones are going to be 0.3 and these ones are going to be 3. Getting in there. I might have to make them a little bigger, move them in just a little bit. 0.3 and 3. All right, let's give it a save so I don't have to redo all this stuff. Okay, so my idea here was to add a trigger volume. Let's also do that while we're down here building trigger volumes. One, two. Not really sure how far to put it up. A little more. The Y is going to be the 0.3. Let's try to get in here. Three. Enter. Reset. I don't know if I want to use that. Enter. Stop. Enter stop. Or oops, exit stop. Okay. So this is a teleporter. Destination range, absolutely 0. Instant teleport, yes. Message required. Enter stop. I guess you don't need an exit stop. Let's see if that works. But we're going to need some rules here, so let's just create, let's call this admin events. But for now, I'm going to create a new board called Radical Movement. All right, so I'm on that board. So for now, I think it's just as easy as just sending along the message. We can do that for now. So if we get enter dot, I'll copy that part. Enter dot up. We're gonna do up dot on. And we can send that to like specific tags to make things more tight, which I can do later. Enter up, enter down. And that's up, off. Enter left. Oops. Enter down. That would be down on. Enter left. Left on. And enter right. Right on. Right on. Okay, so we're going to turn these off with... Now we're going to need exit. Exit down. Exit up would be up, off. Exit down. Down, off. Exit left. Left, off. And exit right. Right, off. So this is stop teleporter. Okay, so this thing is on the portal. All right, so if I move left, it stopped right away. It's moving right. I don't think I'm giving it enough space. the left. I'm not sure. Going in. Enter left, exit left. Give everybody a little more space here like this. Okay, it's moving left. It's moving right. It's moving diagonally up right, diagonally down left. I think we got it. If I jump, it didn't work. I don't think I reached it because I'm tiny. Let's make the Y 1. Wait. Okay. Let's make the Y 1. So I saw myself drop in there. Okay, I'm still not teleporting. Wait. I think I'm sending this to the rules. That won't teleport me. Still can't reach it. Enter, stop. 1.5. Just teleport automatically. Not teleporting. I should definitely be reaching that. Message required. Enter, stop. Oh, I didn't pick a teleport destination. Oh, yeah. Still can't reach it though. I'm confused. Unless I'm just never leaving it. I might have to spawn it in after. So you'd think I'd teleport right there when I dropped in. I mean, I'm jumping high. I don't want it sticking out the top, though. I guess it doesn't really matter. Avatar spawner. Let me go with, Not a custom avatar quick. There. Alright. So I'm going to make all this invisible. Except for the reticle. So it doesn't look so weird. And you can just go ahead and collapse everything in on itself. Alright, so then we get a really nice little reticle moving around. You can jump to stop it moving because it's kind of awkward to try to get right back into the middle. The reticle's probably a little slow. Nice to be able to just jump to get it to stop moving. So it would probably be easiest to use left click, middle mouse, and right click to shoot missiles. But the one thing I don't like about that I guess stopping to attack doesn't last as long as it used to, which is nice. So you will notice a problem right now where it can run off the page. We need to stop it. It needs to stop right here. So once it hits that line, it should just go off to the right. Still be able to go off to the right, but not any farther to the left. And then there's going to be like an invisible line around here where you can't go any lower because you'd hurt yourself. Right now, I just have to stay in bounds, but obviously the player's not going to do that. And so this mechanic's only going to last as long as those platforms will go. 2000 is pretty fast, or pretty long, and I'm not going that fast. I should probably speed it up. Also, I'm curious if I could just be like 2000 here. I mean, it seems to handle more than the other platform. So now we have 4000. And, what's the max speed? 20. Let's split it. So let's do 10. Minus 2000. Platform speed 10. Let's go through and change all these quick. Minus 2000 platform speed 10. But yeah, my original idea here is just reset these every once in a while. So if they do run out of real estate, you can just spawn another one. Forgot to change the speed. $10, 2000, negative 2010. 10, negative 2000, 10, negative 2000. Oops. What'd I break? Did I put them all in the Z's? No, there's the X. Hmm. 2000 might have messed it up. Let's just go back to 1000. It's like I don't like 2000. I don't like that you put 2000 in that field. I do not like that. Minus 1000. Oops. Okay, there we go. Now it moves around a lot faster, which the player kind of needs to get into position. I think it feels pretty good. So this is like considered the easy movement, I think, which works pretty good. Because now you can jump out of it to get it to stop. Go back to something else. Alright, I'm happy with it. We'll just have to find a way to make sure to get the custom avatar to get into the teleport for the jump. Because I would like to get rid of the shadow. So I'm not sure how that's possible. Maybe the custom avatar... Maybe I have to use like a specific tag or something? I don't know. I'll test it out. Alright. So what's left with the reticle? We need to stop it when it hits the edges. It needs to... turn the platform off that's trying to make it go out of bounds. So what I'm going to do is grab these four. And we're going to duplicate them. Put them back in the middle. Bring them up. So these two are going to be similar. I think I can still edit these fields together. So that's the right. Y should be fine. But I want them to be nice and long. Doesn't need to be that long, but let's say like 60. Okay. Detection type, specific tags within range. Okay, so that's all I can edit together. Fantastic. Include tags reticle. So on the final child, the reticle child, that will have a tag. Reticle. Trigger volume. I don't think we need an exit message. Should make it a little thicker just to make sure that don't go too far and then get another one on accident, I think. Include tags. We're going to be looking for the reticle tag, this one. So we're going to OB out of bounds, OB left. OB right. All right, let's put this one up here and then let's change this one to the 3. And let's change X to a 60. This is going to be now and OB up. Out of bounds up. That's actually way too far up. I have to put an arcade, part of the arcade cabinet up here still. And so this one's going to be like in here somewhere. We're going to say 3 and 60 on the X. And let's say that you have to stop here for now. Somewhere like right there. Which makes sense. And this is OB down. Out of bounds down. Okay. I really don't want to redo this stuff, so we'll throw in a save. All right, so if I get a OB up, I want an up off. And if I get an OB down, I want a down off. And if I get an OB left, I want a left off. Oops. And if I get an OB right, I want a right off. All right, let's see if the reticle will stay in bounce now and still be comfortable to move around and work. So with the way we've built it so far, I can use WASDA to move it around. Let's see if it runs into the wall. It did. I can leave. I can go down and up on the wall. I didn't hit the floor though. And I also did not hit the ceiling. Because we're not looking for the proper tags. Tags and range, reticle. Tags and range, reticle. All right, I'm gonna move it in a little bit because I want it to stop before it hits the out of bounds. Alright, so it should stay in bounce now. Boom. Hits the radar line, they call it. This will go left and right. Just can't go more down. And I can't go down again because I haven't entered trigger volume yet. Once I introduce more buttons, maybe I shouldn't introduce more buttons. Maybe I should just make this the way it works, because it's better. Just move around and use left, right, middle mouse. Right and middle mouse feel good. It's just left click stops you sometimes. Oh, still didn't hit the top. Unless it's just too far away, I can't see it. Which is always a possibility. Maybe try to keep it right underneath the username here. It's pretty good. Alright, now there's a working out of bounds. So the reticle can't get out of it. Pretty cool. I think this is by far the most comfortable way to do it. Now, just to further effect, let's have this thing not looking at avatars anymore, but looking at tags. We're not going to work on this today, we're almost done here, but... Now, these missile launchers, they're going to be looking at the reticle. So now you can see it move around with it, and once I shoot, it'll go right towards where it was. Hit an X there. Just 1 second. Oh, the sandbox just went live? Perfect. Alright, perfect. Well, that's a great place to jump off to. I appreciate everybody hanging out on this special game jam stream. It's fun to just work on GameMaker stuff. Hopefully you learned something. Much love, everybody. I appreciate you. Tomorrow we're going to be back to fashion show stuff and cheer for gear and make sure that's working for the bonus show. So keep tuning in, and hopefully I can get you some USDC and sand in the coming months. So sign up to enter into that fashion show. I know you can make a gear set. I believe in you. Have a good one. Play game for fun. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the raid, Pickaxe Master. Have a good day, everybody.